when you look at security, there are different ways to protect your network, your assets, your crown jewel applications using different set of applications and services that are provided to you. Now, as more and more applications are moving into the cloud, these attackers and bad actors are all changing their game. And now they are attacking these applications, obviously, in the cloud. Now, in the cloud, one of the challenges I see, and it's a very critical one, is that the cloud is not giving you enough visibility and insights into what's happening for the traffic that is happening in your network, coming from outside, coming from on-premise resources and whatnot. So the visibility becomes extremely important because how can you protect something that you cannot see? Yes, you can shoot in the dark and you might be lucky to catch someone, but it's very difficult. So that's why we believe that a secure solution has to be visible. And when you look at the cloud and the crown jewel applications, for example, SAP HANA, Epic, manufacturing applications, or some other type of applications, they are now sitting here in these VPCs and VNets. And if you look at the way different people, traffic, services are connecting to these applications, there are different flavors to it. So some public-facing application will obviously be exposed to the internet, and then you would like to protect them through some services provided by the CSP, for example, WAF type service. If you are connecting to SaaS service or you are consuming the SaaS service, you are now talking about these cloud provided NAT gateways to connect to those SaaS type services. And obviously, if you have your on-premise branches, if you're a retail shop, you have physical offices and branches and whatnot, so you need to connect those branches, those data centers to the cloud through these services provided by the CSPs. Now, if you look at this diagram in the bottom, obviously, when you purchase or use a CSP service, you're basically renting a hardware. And the hardware is actually provided by the CSP, but you don't have visibility into it. Unlike your on-premise situation where you had total control over your hardware. Then these CSPs will provide you the set of hypervisors or set of other services that you don't really have visibility into. So you might be using the route table, load balancer, layer 4 firewall, but it's very difficult to get the deeper level of visibility into it because they're sitting on the shared infrastructure provided by the CSPs. So they can give you so much, not what you need from the enterprise point of view, right? And similarly, these other services like the cloud gateways, the WAF and NAT gateways, they will try to give you like VPC flow log or VNet logs and whatnot, but they're not very rich, right? So you are dealing with a lot of black boxes and you lose the visibility, right? So how do we actually solve this challenge? You need visibility and an intelligent platform to tackle this problem. You need a consistent multi-cloud networking platform because this is the multi-cloud world we live in. Then you also need total visibility and control for all the traffic, all the services, what's happening inside my data center. Am I providing the right set of audit and then these guardrails to my applications? And in order to achieve that, we believe that security has to be part of the data plane. It has to be embedded. So as soon as your packet touches a service or a network, you should have it secure, right? It's not like you are sending the traffic somewhere else and getting it secure. No, it has to be part of your data plane. And then you need to have automation because a lot of time we have seen that the security problems or challenges, they are basically human errors. So you need to have a very robust multi-cloud automation framework. So how do you achieve that? So you need a platform like Aviatix, which is intelligent and providing intelligent cloud networking for your crown jewel applications like SAP HANA or Epic applications and whatnot. So if you look at the Aviatix platform, it starts from the centralized control and management plane. This is where you define your intent, how exactly you want to protect your network, your assets. And then this intent is programmed into the Aviatix data plane. So this is the smart multi-cloud network data plane that has security embedded in it. Like I said before, when you cross the Aviatix smart data plane, your packet is secure. The gateways that we have, they are layer 4 stateful firewall, and they also provide a lot of features that you will see in the coming slides. And then the topic obviously is very critical. How do you actually see all that? So we provide you this visibility into your network, and not only visibility, but also the audit capabilities, incident management, troubleshooting, knowing exactly how your packets or your networks are connected from one place to another place. So when you look at the Aviatix platform, it's all yours. It's your own cloud network. It's not a SaaS provider, which typically becomes a black box, right? So you don't want to send your traffic to another SaaS provider for networking and security services, which is another black box. You don't have you control over there, right? So when you deploy the Aviatix platform, you start from the Aviatix controller, you log into your favorite CSP marketplace, AWS, Azure, GCP, you name it. You deploy the controller, it's the highly available controller, and then the controller will create this smart data plane based on your intent. So let's say if you want to control the traffic that is going out towards the internet, the egress traffic, you will create the intent and we will create the gateway to take care of that. And obviously, what we do, we also partner with a lot of other third-party players. When you're providing a solution to enterprises, it has to be secure. It has to give you all the knobs and hooks and services that you need from the enterprise perspective. So that's why we partner with third-party next-generation firewall vendors like Palo Alto and others. Okay, so now, when you look at the customers who are leveraging our platform to make sure that their applications are secure, the list is very long, but I'm just showing you a snippet of those customers here. So Aviatix platform sees everything and we'll show you in the demo. So you have seen the slides so far, but we'll actually prove you and show you exactly how we can give you that level of visibility that you need for your crown jewel applications. We have deeper level of visibility provided to you in order to secure your network and your traffic, right? So a few things I want to stress upon that we discuss is for example, the real-time network connectivity. So everything that you are doing in your cloud or uh, someone is doing in the cloud, which you are not aware of, is actually captured in the real-time fashion. So we'll show you this topology, which becomes your audit and governance control to see exactly how these resources are being deployed, exactly how these resources are connected. If there is a resource which is not part of your network architecture, you'll get to see that here because that will show up in the screen as something disjointed sitting somewhere. So we'll show you that, hey, this someone deployed this VPC over there, but it's not part of your network architecture. That means there is a chance that some malicious activity might be happening there. Someone might be trying to steal the data, or maybe there is a ransomware happening somewhere. So you need to be aware of it, right? So we'll give you this real time. So as you build it, we'll build it for you. You don't have to worry about it, right? The second thing is important is the asset metadata, right? So you deployed assets like your crown jewel applications. You have certain metadata with it, right? The timestamps, the region, and whatnot. If there is something ambiguous there, it will actually tell you right on the screen. So you don't have to pull those APIs and then look at that level of detail or insights, right? And the latency is very important because when you have those networks connected together, traffic is going from source to destination. If the latency is increasing, something could be fishy over there, right? It could be a network problem, could be a security breach or something else. So you need to be very careful about, knowing exactly what's happening inside your network. Then we moved on and then we showed you the application performance. And it's very critical from the network security and then from the security insight perspective, because there might be a cron job or something running at, I don't know, 2 a.m. in the morning, and you see this blip in the CPU for one of the gateways. That could be a problem because who's doing something at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? So the performance, knowing that performance, and then looking at the CPU, disk availability, and those type of things are very important to protect the attacks that could be happening. And you guys know that sometimes these attacks are happening from the inside the organization. So very important that you keep an eye on those and provide this actionable intelligence back to your team or yourself or to your NOC team so they can investigate if it is, uh, a real thing, or maybe it's a breach or something else, right? Or maybe a ransomware, you never know. Then we looked at the real-time flows and trends. These trends are extremely important because like we fingerprint your network. So we know exactly how it behaves, how it runs. It's like when you use your credit card in, let's say, in San Francisco, and someone is using the same physical card in New York, that's a problem, right? And your credit card company or your bank will just quickly alert you. So we do the same thing. We give you this real-time flow and trend analytics, so you know exactly how these resources are connected. If there are some top talkers which are not expected, that could be a real indication of a security breach or some problem that you need to investigate. So we'll show you all that, also show you the heat map of where the traffic actually coming from. There might be a location somewhere in the world, a country or a region, which should not send traffic to you, or you should not send traffic to that region or that country. So we'll show you on the map, on the heat map, we'll exactly pinpoint, hey, this traffic is going to this region. If this is malicious, a problematic, or attack, go investigate. Then we looked at the anomaly detection. This is about fingerprinting your network, baselining your network, see exactly your network behave and perform. And if there is any deviation, any change in that behavior, you should get alert. And then you should look into this and see exactly, why is it happening? And these are the things that we have been discussing here, that the CSP will not provide you this level of insight. Once you have the Aviatrix architecture, which is deployed in your account, AWS account, or Azure subscriptions, or in GCP, then you have total control over your own destiny, your own networking posture, your own audit, and your own control. Because the shared security model looks very fancy and cool on the piece of paper, but if a breach happens, the auditor or your management will come to you asking, hey, why did it happen? You cannot just simply finger point it towards a CSP saying, you know what, it's because of that CSP. No, the life does not work like that. So what I'm saying here is that you need to have total control about your own architecture, the resources you deployed, how the traffic is flowing, and that's the only way you can protect and secure your crown jewel applications like SAP applications, your manufacturing, healthcare, or whatever the case may be. Okay. Egress traffic protection, extremely important, whether you like it or not like it. This is the new world we live in, where these applications, they have to connect to the SaaS services outside, their own domain. Okay. In the on-premise world, it was easy because you were sending this traffic to some DMZ. There was a cage there which was locked completely. It has one wire going out towards the internet. So it was easy to protect that. But now life is different. When you define a VPC or VNet, when you create those virtual machines or EC2s, the internet is just next door. Your virtual machine EC2 can just directly talk to internet. So it becomes extremely important to protect that traffic, okay? So because your applications, they need to talk to GitHub. They need to talk to, if you're using Terraform Cloud, or Office 365, or any SaaS type services that you need to connect to. You don't have a choice. So how to protect that? How to provide visibility into that traffic. So this is exactly what we are providing to you. So you can see exactly where those traffics patterns are going, which domain are they hitting. And if you want to protect and block using the zero trust policy, in the policy, you can actually see and define the zero trust policy and block everything and allow access to only certain domains. Location aware security, right? So it's embedded geofencing that we have as part of the platform. GDPR, data locality, is extremely important to protect and provide the necessary security posture for your application, because it's a government requirement. You cannot escape that. You'll fail your audit if you're not doing that. So we give you this insight in a very simple way where you can see the countries and you can just simply click allow or block. And we'll also show you if there were some IPs trying to come from those countries. We'll also show you here on the screen, hey, there were 69 IP addresses trying to connect from XYZ country. So that's the level of insight we are talking about. We discussed about the embedded threat detection and prevention. Okay, it's not just about detecting a threat. If you're using, let's say, AWS Guard Duty is great. I love it. But it only alerts you. They're saying that, hey, there is a threat coming from the internet from this specific IP address. This is a signature. You do something about it. No, we don't just take it at that level. We take it to the next level where we say that, okay, we'll detect the threat, but we can also stop that threat from happening or from entering into your network or penetrating into your network. So as part of the policy, you create the intent that, okay, alert me first and also block that threat. So we'll do that because our gateways are layer 4 stateful firewall. They can deeply see inside the packets and they can automatically stop that threat from happening or extending to other places. Okay, we audit and incident replay, extremely critical. Something happened. I mean, life is life. We know that things could happen. So if there was an incident happened last night and you are investigating, you're doing your forensic analysis. So you can actually replay that threat or that incident. You can go back in time. You can see exactly what changed. Maybe someone by mistake opened a security group. You never know, right? So we'll show you, okay, the change was made at this time and who actually made that change. So we'll give you this complete audit report. End-to-end, connectivity analysis. We saw that very important from the security point of view. Exactly, how your source is talking to your destination. Maybe that's not the right path. Maybe it's going through a path which is not desired from the security point of view, right? Maybe it's going through on-prem and then coming back. You never know. And that's not a desired security posture you want for that source to destination connectivity. So we'll give you that and give you a very detailed report, which will pinpoint you exactly where that problem could have happened. This is the last section, which is about connecting beyond what we provide you. So what you saw before is part of that data plane. That should be your first line of defense, protect and secure your infrastructure, to have deep visibility into your infrastructure. But if you want to leverage these third-party services like VM series from Palo Alto, you must do that because you have to follow the layered security approach, defense and depth mechanisms, right? So we also make it easy for you. So we provide all these knobs and controls and visibility through our platform, but we also give you this visibility from the third-party vendor point of view, where from the controller with a single click, you can not only deploy these virtual machines, but you will make it part of your architecture. Will give you options to create the policies so that you can define the VPCs and VNets you want to protect. And then this protection is not only for the cloud or inside the cloud, will also give you this visibility and protection for the north-south traffic. if the traffic is coming from on-premise, from another cloud, from the branch, from SD-WAN. So we protect all that for you by automatically changing the route table, making sure that traffic is going to the firewall, making sure that VM series are working in the highly available fashion. So you're getting the best of all the worlds. So we do that without compromising any visibility, because there is no source net involved when you use our solution. And the beauty is that this is cloud agnostic. If you have multiple clouds, you deploy it in this way in AWS or GCP, exactly the same way you do it in Azure. We provide this abstraction so you don't have to worry about all these nuances and differences from one cloud to another cloud. So that will give you that peace of mind, basically. Okay, so this is what you need to remember. Proactive protection, security with visibility is extremely important. You need to provide visibility for your networking services. This is where things start. You need to have your assets completely monitored. You need to make sure they're healthy. The latencies are what you want to provide as an SLA. We provide you the deeper visibility into the flows, the actual flows happening in your network. We give you trend and behavior analytic. And then you have the policy framework, which allows you to create those zero trust policies with automation, right? So visibility for security services, again, assets, very important, where exactly they are, how they are being consumed by different, a line of businesses or services, the topology, how they're actually connected. That visibility is very important from the security point of view. We gave you audit, governance, and different controls that are helpful for your security and InfoSec team, right? We looked at the cost also. That's another level of visibility. This platform, so you can actually show back and charge back to other teams and line of businesses. And then the security and visibility for all type of traffic, east-west, ingress, egress, and whatnot. And then the last but not the least is what we discussed is the next generation firewall visibility for your VM series, right? So complete flow info, exactly how the flows are happening from in your network through the gateway, through the firewall, right? There is a policy-based security and control that we provide to our platform. So when you log into the controller with one Terraform, you can just simply create all the VM series, you can create the policy, you can connect all these resources together, and you can protect your assets very quickly. And not only that, if there is a problem with the firewall, we have the visibility into that as well through our health check mechanisms. We will automatically alert you, and you can create the automation to create maybe another VM series and whatnot, right? So what do you need to do after learning all that? If you want to see everything in action that we discussed, I would encourage you to take our ACE Associate instructor-led course. So we give you the lab parts that play with, you log in, you'll feel it with your own hands. So next level, we have the Cloud Sandbox Starter. You can contact us if you have a specific requirement, any design that you want to discuss. Send us an email, info@aviatix.com. It's a lot of technical information packed in these resources that I'm sharing you. With that, thanks a lot for joining us today. Hopefully you find it useful.